Hi everyone. So I know I haven't made a video in a really long time. Yeah, I know this isn't really a video. This is like an audio video, but I have been getting lots and lots of comments of how's that lady doing? She hasn't made a video in so long, so I figured I might as well put something out there and just kind of talk about anxiety, how I'm doing, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's been a really long time since I've made one. I'm so glad that I get comments all the time. I see people talking to each other in the comments because it's really become a little group to help each other and to be supportive and know that you're not the only one that has these anxiety symptoms, the weird anxiety symptoms, whether it be the chest pressure or like the leaking head thing, the sizzling head in the back of your head. Just all sorts of weird things. So thank you so much for watching the videos and actually commenting. And the whole point was I wanted it to become a support group and somewhere that people knew, excuse me, I just woke up, that you're not alone and you're supported. So a lot of times when I made the videos that you have been watching, um, what helped me was talking about my symptoms. I would say probably, 90% of my videos, I was actually having anxiety or a panic attack. And again, talking about it and like walking my brain through it helped. Um, my anxiety has been better, not cured. I almost feel like when you have a anxiety disorder, like I have two anxiety disorders, panic disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. And I used to have agoraphobia, but I don't so much have that anymore. I did therapy. I know that I already made a video about this, but anybody that hasn't watched that video, I did therapy for 14 months. It was this program where this therapist came to my house because I could not leave my house. And they came for 14 months. It was like every week, 2 hours each time. And every time he came, I'm like, this isn't working, blah, blah, blah. But after it was done, I was actually scared for him to not come anymore because I guess I kind of knew in the back of my head it was working and he was helping. But when he was done coming, I realized, oh, it did work. Again, it didn't like cure 100%, but he gave me the tools that I needed to function in life. So I'm forever grateful for him. Um, Anyways, my anxiety, panic attacks, all that, it's been pretty manageable. A lot of times I'm just so busy that I don't know, having a hobby or being really busy, always keeping your mind active so you don't give yourself time to have anxiety. That is one of the tools that I was given, and it actually works because the worst times for my anxiety are at night, whenever, everything gets quiet and you're kind of left with yourself. Um, or like when I wake up in the morning. I don't know how you can wake up with anxiety, but I do. I wake up with anxiety sometimes still. Today, for example, and this is what triggered me to make a video, I'm just starting to feel better as I'm talking, honestly. Um, but I get this really weird sensation from time to time, and I absolutely hate it. It's so stressful and it gives me so much anxiety, and it just makes me so tired. This, what I'm about to describe, well, really any symptom that gives me really bad anxiety, worry, panic, it makes me so tired and exhausted because the mental anguish that you go through when you have an anxiety disorder. And this is beyond just like, oh, you have some anxiety. Yeah. No, no, no. Like it's bad. Like I'm usually okay, but like last night, okay, I started feeling this really weird symptom. It's like in the middle of my chest, but slightly to the left. Okay. And it goes like from my throat all the way down, like kind of towards the middle of my chest. I want to say to my heart, but I always think everything's my heart. I'm always told nothing's actually my heart. So I don't know. It's like it's always on the left side too. I don't know why. It's like in the middle, but slightly to the left. And it goes down. I don't know. Maybe it goes down to my, like the top of my stomach. But what I have kind of came up with is that it's an esophageal spasm, because I have worn so many heart monitors, not lately, but I've worn so many heart monitors. And when I feel this feeling, like I'm just touching right now, like from my throat, like on the left side, all the way down. Yeah, so it's like to where the top of my stomach is. And I just hate it. But every time I wore a heart monitor and I would push the button saying I'm feeling a symptom, I was told, oh, your heart was fine. So I see a GI person. I have gotten an endoscopy just recently, within the last year now. But I've gotten an endoscopy, where they stick the camera down your throat into your stomach, a colonoscopy. I've gotten x-rays. I've gotten all this GI stuff done. And she's really good. And nothing was found other than IBS. Yeah, and she didn't say anything about the spasms, but what else can that be? Also, I know, I've always known, I'm just like a hypersensitive person inside and out. Like, I'm just really emotionally sensitive about things, but not just that, physically, just anything happening in my body. I'm really aware of it and very sensitive to it. And it's almost like that's a good thing, all around, but it's also a really bad thing. Even though this doesn't really have to do with anxiety, let me explain like the emotional sense. Well, I guess it kind of does have to do with anxiety, right? Because if you're emotionally sensitive, you're just kind of like, I don't even know, like just hyper aware, or just like, here's an example, right? My daughter, just anything that goes on with her, just going to school to meet her teachers for the first time, something that's like really heartfelt, but it's not like crazy emotional, right? I will literally cry. Anything to do with her, like I just cried. Like I'll walk in to go meet her teacher and I'm already crying and I can't even help it. Just anything. Like I am so insanely sensitive. It's just crazy. I've just always been that way, right? Um but yeah, anything in my stomach, like if I ever have gas pains, right? Like I feel them popping in my stomach. I feel, I was told by my doctor, a lot of people have premature atrial and ventricular contractions. They're benign and not a lot of people even feel them. I feel all of them. I feel when my heart races, if I get a little ache and pain, like in my foot, right? A lot of times I'll have radiating pain and it shoots to my shoulder. Like I'm just so aware of like all these different sensations and little things that happen in my body that probably most people either don't even think about or don't even feel. I feel all of them. And now, since I'm predispositioned, right, for anxiety, I always am like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling like that? So post therapy, like I said, about 90% of those I can deal with. But when I feel like this little weird shaky, I don't know, on the left side of my chest, like slightly to the left. When I feel that, I just, if it goes away quickly, it's like, okay, I can deal with it. But if it stays there for a while, I start to freak out. For example, I started feeling it last night. Now here it is 12 hours later in the morning. I'm the only one up, which kind of gives me anxiety because the noise is silence, right? And like you're left with your own thoughts and worries, and it makes it worse. But like I still feel it. The only way I can describe it is it's like I don't know, like a quivering feeling in the middle, but slightly to the left. It's not painful, but what my brain thinks is, oh my God, my heart is like quivering. It's not beating properly. My pulse doesn't feel like strong. And there's some issue with my heart. That's like what I think. And then I think, okay, well, I am on 2 different blood pressure medications. Well, 3 actually, but 2 that I was late taking today. And well, I was only 2 hours late taking it, but I'm like, okay, let me try to rationalize this because that's what my therapist taught me to do. Because again, I would have already called 911, been in the emergency room if this was pre-therapy, right? So I'm like, okay, let me calm down. Everybody's sleeping. Let me just take my medicine. Let me sit down and think this through. Everything's going to be okay. And that's what I'm doing, making this video. So now it's been 11 minutes and I guess I feel slightly better, but I still feel it. What is this? It's almost like a quivering, whatever. Anyways, what I also think is I have a huge stomach, right? I have always had a huge stomach since I was like a teenager, a kid, right? I have something called PCOS. It's a hormone problem, and I've always had it, right? And I have been doing things, I should do it more consistently, but like working out, trying to eat a better diet. I never sit there and eat junk food. I don't ever sit there and eat sweets, but you would not have any clue. You would think I do because I'm like over 200 pounds. It's ridiculous. But anyways, I have a huge stomach. And I think that, I don't know, with your esophagus and your body, just especially over time, I think that pulls just on your body. So whatever's happening, like the stomach, esophagus, maybe that's why I get esophageal spasms. I don't know. Drives me crazy. Now my hand is numb. Change the camera. Now my right hand is numb because I was holding the camera here in a way as I was sitting. Yeah. So I've gained weight. My life is okay. I have an enormous amount of stress in my life. People always say get the stress under control, but sometimes that is just not possible. And it's not because I'm a mom. It's just other things. But yeah, my stress is, well, yeah, it's stressful sometimes when you're a mom, but it's like almost healthy stress. I have bad stress in my life. Not even going to go into that, but yeah, definitely am under a lot of stress. I don't know. I guess I don't really know what else to say. I am going to probably make another video showing my face, a normal video. But this is just kind of me rambling. Here it is, July 1st, 2023. Everything is mostly okay. Like I said, I don't know why I'm having this. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's just like in the middle. I know I've said this a million times. That's another thing I do when I have anxiety. I repeat myself a lot. And I know it's annoying. But I know everyone out there, you probably like me a little bit with that. But it's in the middle from my throat all the way down. But it's like slightly to the left. And when I touch it too, like from my throat all the way down to like the top of my stomach, it's very sensitive too. When I do it on the other side, I don't like feel it, if that makes any sense. But it's almost like it's in there quivering. So people have said acid reflux. Now I do have acid reflux, and I was on medicine, but then my doctor said I don't really need to take the medicine. But I am going to, but I have some medicine that I can take as needed. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the day start and see if it goes away. It probably will. But that is the worst word for somebody with anxiety. Probably, right? Like when you are told something by just a random person or even like a doctor, oh, it's probably nothing. What I hear when somebody says it's probably nothing, I hear is, you have something, we just don't know what it is. Like, that's what I hear. I hate when people give like non-concrete answers, because I think because of my anxiety, like that's what happens. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. So my daughter, who you've seen in a video when she was just born, right? Yeah, she's 9 now. And she is doing great. She's like the best little girl. And she started to develop a little bit of anxiety. Nothing crazy, but just some irrational worries. And I 100% feel like I'm to blame, even though I don't think I ever show her my anxiety. I don't think I've ever had a panic attack around her. Situations like now, like I'm worrying about this feeling in my chest, I don't let her hear my worries or anything. So I don't think she's, well, my mom feels this way, so I feel this. Like I feel like I haven't shown her that, if that makes sense. However, she is around me all the time, so maybe she's picked up on something, or I don't know. So no, I feel really bad. I feel responsible. I feel so guilty. But knowing that I guess it runs in families, right? Anxiety. I don't even know. Never really did research, but I feel like she was a little bit predispositioned for anxiety since I had it, and it was really bad when I was pregnant with her. I started getting her, like some online stuff and like just strategies on how to help. Like, oh, if I start to think this way, this is what I can do. And it's helped her tremendously. Because I know if you, it's really, really hard to just deal with it yourself, and getting help, there's nothing wrong with it. Even though I'm not in therapy anymore, like I said, I did that 14 months worth of therapy, and it helped me tremendously. So my daughter, it only started this year too. So she's been only going through this for, I don't know, I want to say maybe like 6-7 months. And every day she was just telling me, Mommy, I feel like I'm going to stop breathing. And I'm like, why do you feel like that? And she's like, I don't know. And just random things. And I'm like, she's never heard me say that. And usually that's usually not one of my anxiety symptoms. It's usually heart stuff, right? So, I'm like, no, honey, you're okay. And she's had a panic attack twice. And I 100% knew it was a panic attack, but I knew exactly what to do to bring her back down. And she was fine. But I knew that I had to do something. I wasn't going to just let it go, because when you have panic like that, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I didn't get help until I was in my 30s. So, yeah, I've been having her do this online thing, and she is doing great. For the last like month and a half, she has not said that at all. I could tell she used to have worries because she would like pick her fingers or something, and she has not done that at all for about a month and a half. We have done this online thing now. We've been doing it for several months, and every week, and she likes it. So anyways, I just wanted to say that, because if you're a parent and your kid is starting to develop, anxiety, getting them to see somebody, whether it's online, in person, whatever, it's definitely worth it. And I'm like, I am not going to have my daughter go through life having panic. And with me, it just got so worse. I think it started when I was a kid too. Then when I was a teenager, it got worse. 20s, 30s, it just got debilitating. I'm like, I am not going to just sit here and let her anxiety get worse and worse. I'm going to do something to make sure that like she has the tools and like basically in my head, hopefully it's just anxiety free or just knows how to deal with it. And I think it is working. You know, we're sticking with it. But sorry, I'm rambling about this, but that's like the one thing. It just breaks my heart that she was starting to get anxiety. But yeah, I think it's definitely much, much better. It's really hard whenever you see your kids have that, because I'm like, I know exactly how she feels, you know, and it just, yeah, it just broke my heart. I don't know what triggered it. I mean, I think stress triggers things, but she doesn't have, well, she does have a little bit of stress in her life. But it's nothing like no major catastrophic, like nothing like that happened. So I don't know, maybe just because she's getting older, she's just more aware of things. The one person that I was talking to did say around this age, they're just more aware of things. They start to have thoughts and feelings. Also, well, I've said this in other videos years and years ago, but I had anxiety forever, way before I even was pregnant with my daughter, but then it was really bad when I was pregnant and when she was really young. Like, she doesn't even remember, but when she was really young, my anxiety was really bad. So when she was 1 years old, like 2 years old, that's when I had my therapy. The therapist came into my home and he helped me. And the reason that just made me, okay, I just need to do this was because of my daughter. I'm like, I don't want her growing up seeing mommy like have panic attacks every day and anxiety every single day. So that's why I did it. And I'm so glad I did it, because you're always at fault when you're a parent, you know what I mean? But she's not really exposed. Like right now, just me rambling, right? She's sleeping, she's on the other side of the house, and I'm like in the bathroom with the door shut. So she doesn't even hear me talking about this now. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you for like listening if you've made it this whole 22 minutes. And let me know how you're doing down in the comments. I think I am going to kind of restart the channel and make real videos. I just wanted to kind of give a quick update, and I hope this anxiety and this weird feeling that's happening in my body right now goes away, because it sucks. Let me know in the comments also, do you get really weird sensations that have to do with like, you know, anxiety, or it's triggered by anxiety? It's just terrible. But welcome to the family because there's a lot of us out there and we need support. Also, I have a TikTok, Hope for the number 4 anxiety. Check out the TikTok because we can become a little family on there too. Thanks for listening.